Good afternoon and welcome to the Stadio Silvio Piola on match day 35 of Serie A. We've got live action coming up between relegation-threatened Novaro and champions-chasing Juventus. I'm your commentator, Owen Nilsson. Well, the anticipation before this Piedmont derby is reaching fever pitch. The home fans know that their stay in the top division hangs by a thread. And if results go badly here and elsewhere in the league, Novaro could be relegated at the end of this afternoon's game. At the other end, it's Juventus, top of the table, 3 points clear of Milan. And if they can pick up a win here today, they will not only close in on that Scudetto, but also break Milan's record from the early 90s of 34 games undefeated in a season. That's where Juventus find themselves now, and a positive result here today against the 19th place side in the league would give them their 35th and certainly take them closer to the Scudetto. It's been a thrilling campaign from Juventus. They come into this match on superb form, conceding only 1 goal in their last 8 games, 7 consecutive wins. And it looks like well, the greatest of mountains for Novaro to climb here today against the Bianconeri, full of confidence as well. But Novaro, well, they turned in a wonderful performance here. Last week I was here against Lazio. It was a 2-1 winner, late free kick from Mascara. The difference between the two sides that just continued this stay in the top division. Of course, Novaro playing in the top division here in Italy for the first time in over 50 years. Hasn't gone exactly to plan in terms of their survival, but they want to go out kicking and screaming. And a packed stadium as ever when Juventus visit. A synthetic pitch here at the Silvio Piola has caused some complaints from Juventus in the lead-up, as it has with a number of the clubs visited here. Concerned about the bounce of the ball and the way that it carries through. Cesena also with a synthetic pitch where Juventus played their last game midweek when they won 1-0. The difference between survival and relegation for Novaro at the moment, they're 8 points behind Genoa, who played earlier today and failed to win. And if that gap goes to 9, i.e. Lecce get a result, a win against Parma, then Novaro, if they fail to get points here today, then they will be relegated out of the division. And the two sides coming out onto the pitch now, led by the referee and his assistants. Novaro wearing the blue strip, the home side led there by captain Filippo Poccari, and Juventus in their white and black stripes. It's been many a year since these two sides met here. Novaro, of course, successive promotions from the lower reaches of Italian football. So not many opportunities for them to play. And as we can see there, some exalted company here to watch this match. Michel Platini, the president of UEFA, flanked by Bonaperti. And gets the feeling there, expecting a comfortable, routine and quality Juventus performance to continue to close out the season. We've swapped positions at the top with Milan on a number of occasions, but now looking favourites to take the title. We can see Novaro there playing Mascherani behind Caracciolo. Have been playing 2 up front in the last few games. Della Fiori, Pacci, Lesuzzo, Garcia, Poccari, Pesce, Gemiti, Rigoni, Mascherani and Caracciolo. Morimoto and Mascara both on the bench. Fontana continues in goal. And Mascherani will have to work hard in behind Caracciolo. Our referee today, Domenico Celli. He's officiating his 17th Serie A game of the season. Native of Campobasso. The linesmen are Marco Barbaratti and Luca Maggiani. The referee, he was there at the first game of the season for Juventus at the new stadium when they played Parma. And the Juventus lineup, well, Borriello gets a starting spot. First chance in the starting lineup since the first week of April, after he scored in the last game, along with Vucinic. And then a familiar lineup behind, just Giaccherini coming in on the left for De Celje. Gigi Buffon in goal, of course. And there's Antonio Conte. Well, there were some concerns about the fortunes of Juventus a couple of months back. They had some run of 4 draws, no defeats, of course, this season, starting with the one against Milan. And thought that the mentality of the side are a little too highly strung. They've come back with 7 consecutive wins. And in the opposition box, Attilio Tesser, who returns after Emiliano Mondonico took over for a spell. Just had half a dozen games in charge. And there's Rigoni, top scorer for Novaro. And he'll be working hard to try and move it forward. The 4-man back line for Novaro worked for me in the last game against Lazio. They look more solid. They are missing Morganella, though, through suspension, which is why Gemiti has come in. Della Fuori also on the right-hand side. So we're underway here at the Stadio Silvio Piola. It's Juventus kicking off from right to left. Novaro in the blue shirts. And of course, commitment is going to be paramount today for Novaro. Of course, the likelihood that they are going to be relegated is high because of that big gap. 8 points to safety. But they want to just keep on fighting as Giaccherini on the ball early, tries to lay it back to the edge of the area, just helped away. Caracciolo. Well, could he do his boyhood team, Milan, a big favour here today against their rivals, Juventus. Scored, of course, in the game against Inter. And driven out of defence and the ball up early. Well, Fontana had to be aware. He's come into the lineup in the last 4 games, 37 years of age. Indeed, it's his 5th consecutive start now since coming on at half-time against Roma. Hasn't kept 1 clean sheet in any of those appearances. On the right-hand side, ball played up by Barzagli. Pesce just gives it short. Hokari goes down. Referee says play advantage. Now back in the middle with Simone Pesce driving forward. Middle pass, a slip there from Rigoni. As I mentioned the surface earlier, and there was quite a lot of slips in that particular area. Borriello can come through, got his first goal of the season in the last game, and just wide. Fontana, well, he flapped at it. Borriello high on confidence after that goal in the win over Cesena. Just brushed the arms, the outstretched fingertips of Alberto Fontana. And the ball, well, that was too easy. Got to get tighter there, Novaro. Well, it's been given as a goal kick. Certainly looked to have come off the fingertips. An early warning. Platini watching on, and Alessandro Del Piero, perhaps we'll see him later on in the game. Long ball up. Well, keep a close eye on the tactics here from Novaro and how they're going to try and bring Caracciolo into the game. Of course, one of the facets of this Juventus side and the success that they've had with their defence has been the pressing and the ability to close down space quickly when the other side are in possession. That wasn't a good pass though from Giaccherini. Marchisio couldn't keep it in. Juventus with the stingiest defence by some margin in the league, conceded just 18. Compare that to Novaro, who've shipped 57. Second worst defence in the league behind Genoa. Here's Borriello again. Well, it's good that Conte's given him the chance to shine. after getting those crucial 3 points against Cesena. Out to Giaccherini, who can control it and just bring it into the box. Oh, and try to take on Della Fiore. Bouncing ball, Chiellini underneath it. Hasn't been getting forward quite as much in the last 4 or 5 games, hasn't needed to. But in an advanced position there, and you feel with them playing Giaccherini on the left, although he's a very hard-working player, he's more of an attack-minded wide man than De Cellier. Borriello again, 3 of the players in those neon boots. Vidal into the middle, trying to link it up with Vucinic, who got 4 assists in that game against Roma. A couple back. I was there at the Juventus Stadium, and it was a magnificent performance. And Vucinic very much at the centre of the quality shown in that game. And here's the man who everyone's been talking about throughout the season, Andrea Pirlo. Campaign his first year with the Bianconeri. Well, that pass was well anticipated, good commitment there to win it back, and then Pesce. Pass up, Vucinic. He's got Lichtsteiner on the right. We've got some collection of coloured boots on the pitch today, and that curling ball too deep. Lichtsteiner, the Swiss international, just blasting it over the back. Della Fiore can get it in. Chance for him as well. Hasn't made many starts in recent games. Former Torino player, rivals of Juventus. Making his first start since the last week of February. It's just why you've got the squad though. Need to rotate the players in, and even though Novaro would benefit from having a full squad available to them like Juventus. Only one missing today, many notice Matri, suspended. And it's a rangy ball out by Pirlo, again pulling the strings. Giaccherini on this space, he's going to look for that angle. It was blocked by Della Fiore and then hooked away. And it could be a counter. Rigoni, good tackle, and then Pirlo. Well, the referee finally whistle in the mouth against Andrea Pirlo. Joined from Milan after 10 seasons. Made 17 games last season. He's completed by far the most passes in the league. Over 2,200. Pesce will similarly be trying to organise things from the back, a little deeper. Like Pirlo, using that left foot to try and start play. That was a well-won header by Rigoni. Chiellini goes down into the middle. Now Lichtsteiner. Imagine that Lichtsteiner will perhaps, depending on how well Novaro defend against him, try and offer a bit more balance on that one side, and Giaccherini will be allowed to go forward. But at the moment, Swiss is very advanced. Goes through all the way to Fontana. They're also looking to break another record. Record's been tumbling all over the place for Juve so far this season, but if they can get 8 wins in a row, it'll be the first time since the 2005-06 season. They started the campaign with 9 consecutive wins. Here they only lost 1 game, and that was to Milan. In this undefeated run, they've conceded 1 and scored 19, and that is certainly championship winning form at the right time in the season. Pirlo. Good tackle. Rigoni goes to put the pressure on Vidal. another who's perhaps claimed the most of the respect from writers and commentators, certainly the fans. Arturo Vidal, absolutely brilliant this season. And Borriello just laying off to Giaccarini. And they keep him pinned into the corner. Della Fiori going close, last touch there off Giaccarini, and then Poccari just back to Della Fiori, and they can make a little triangle and work it out. There's the pass by Pesce. That's good pressure, and it wasn't the right choice there from Pesce. He's given possession back. Borriello digs it out towards the back post. Lichtsteiner just cushions it down, and then the overhead kick attempt there by Vidal. Just going out. Scored 2 in the win over Roma, 2 in the first 8 minutes, in fact. Well, you can see what he was doing. Nowhere near, though, fortunately. So 6 goals this season. Arturo Vidal started with Colo-Colo in Chile, to Bayer Leverkusen. Vucinic. Now, Lichtsteiner was half a yard. Giamitti was there going close. Garcia also, that return pass. Well, Fontana sliding out, and he's was born in Torino. Alberto Fontana played for Il Toro a number of seasons. Actually started his youth career with Juventus in 1993. Had 6 campaigns with Torino in Serie A and Serie B. Didn't make masses of appearances, must be said. Here's Giaccarini. Arrived from Cesena in the summer. Borriello already dropping off to try and link up the players we see there. And a lot of space just to give that pass out, call for a handball. And of course, they've had penalties in the last couple of games, and missed by Pirlo both times. The one against Roma, he got on the rebound. And the one against Cesena, he struck the post. Pesce tried to control. Ball up, comfortable for Barzagli. Now Lichtsteiner again. Another wonderful performer this year since arriving from Lazio. Oh, nice ball, just played into the edge of the D. Now Giaccarini, 2 in the middle. Not on his strongest foot, goes towards the back post. Garcia winning it. Lichtsteiner arriving late. Well, that ball flew into the back of the net, but the whistle had long gone. Header was out, but it was a late challenge from Lichtsteiner. This is the 26th meeting between Novaro and Juventus in Serie A. The Bianco-Azzurri winning just 2 of those, drawing 9. They haven't beat Juventus in the last 11 meetings. Earlier on in the season, it was 2-0 at the Juventus Stadium. To the away side today. Well, he's a unit, Stefan Lichtsteiner. If he clatters into you on the run, you're going to feel it. Nice Cruyff turn there to work it back to Bonucci. Still wearing the face mask after injuring his nose in the game against Lazio. Here's Chiellini. And Novaro already ceding possession quickly and allowing all the players to press forward, both on the flanks and oh, that shot took a deflection. Pirlo hits it, will be a corner kick to Juventus. And it was Simone Pesce inadvertently sending it wide. taken a lot of short corners this season, and so it is again. Marchisio spreads it over. Bonucci back. Dahl with the ball. Space over there. Again with Pirlo. Vucinic curling it in and then headed away. It was Andrea Lisuzzo with the head. And Juventus, well, there was concern in the last game against Cesena that with so many men behind the ball, it was really difficult for them to break the Cesena defence down. And it's going to be a similar scenario. We can see there's blood had been coming out there, I think from the back of the ear. It's a nasty one for Garcia from Palermo. Feel that Juventus won't make the sort of sloppy errors that Lazio did a few days ago. You see that ball come up, rare act in Juventus's half. Marchisio, well, he's lost out to Porcari. And then the free kick goes Juventus's way, taken quickly, driving forward. Oh, that was well cut out. Couldn't control it cleanly there. Giaccherini, who then goes down. Tackled by Della Fiori, so a free kick to Juventus. 15 minutes gone here at the Stadio Silvio Piola. And a clumsy challenge. It was actually Massimo Pacci coming out of defence there to make that tackle. Fontana is going to have to keep his eye on this. Will Pirlo shoot? It's a little wide, but perhaps he's got the angle to aim for that top left-hand corner. Here's Andrea Pirlo. Well, oh, it's gone in. Juventus take the lead. And it's Bonucci. Is it? Or Marko Vucinic? Well, the ball played into the edge of the area. And it was just scooped up on the half volley. Number of bodies in there, but either way, Juventus have taken the league, and indeed it is Vucinic with his 6th goal of the season. Let's have another look. Well, I don't think he could do that again if he tried. Just bouncing in front, helping it up and over the looping, dipping ball. And there've been some complaints about Vucinic and his lack of goals so far this season. And he's contributed there since arriving from Roma. Well, an early lead then for Juventus, and that'll certainly settle things down. Makes it all the more difficult for Novaro. Ball laid off. Oh, how are Novaro going to go about getting into this one? Of course, they would have attempted to keep it tight and try and look for the dead ball situations, the corner kicks, the free kicks, in much the same way that they took advantage of Lazio. It was a mistake, that first goal against Lazio, and then a wonderful free kick from Mascara. They're going to have to come from behind now. Not an easy task for a side that really struggled. Although their home record has been excellent since January, they haven't lost at home since the defeat to Chievo. That was on the first game of Emiliano Mondonico's reign. Since then, they've recorded draws with Cagliari, Atalanta, Lecce and Genoa, and wins against Udinese, and last time out against Lazio. Long ball forward. Too much for Giaccherini. Oh, Borriello to chase. I wasn't certain he was going to get masses of playing time. And Willy Giaccherini moved from Cesena. Big step up for him, but he's done very well. And, he's had a few opportunities to show his quality, continue his development. Barzagli interchanging passes with Bonucci. Both likely to feature for the Azzurri in the upcoming European Championships in Poland and Ukraine. Here's Pirlo. Again, trying to play that angled ball out to Giaccherini. Finds him. He can bring it down and then run. And lays it off. And Marchisio. Good save by Fontana. Well, that was just too easy for Juventus. A 50-yard pass cross-field. Simple ball in. Della Fiori was one-on-one with Giaccherini. Now curling in again and skied. Lichtsteiner with the touch. Well, perhaps should have done better. Garcia not seeing the Swiss arriving. Can't be offside from the throw-in, of course. Oh, there was a touch from Garcia as well. Just doing enough then to put off Lichtsteiner. Novaro looking vulnerable at the moment. They've been getting massive attendances. They got just over 17,000 for the Lazio game, which was one of the best of the season. Surely a sellout here today. Both from the north of Italy, these two clubs. Here's Giaccherini. Just check back inside. And the pass into Vidal. Over to Lichtsteiner. And former Novaro coach Mondonico was saying they could be a danger to Juventus here today. Of course, said that the difference on paper was enormous, but could be a chance to get the better of Antonio Conte's side. Feel that if that's going to come about, they'll need to score the next goal. And coming in, cleared away by Bonucci. And Garcia, shoulder to shoulder with Vidal. And the Juventus midfielder going to ground with the free kick, didn't get it. Here it is with Della Fiori. Into Pesce. His ball in was inadvertently sent via the boot of Giaccherini. If Juventus can take the points here today, they would move up to 77. Milan don't get a result, a win against Siena, gap could go to 5 points. Milan, of course, still have to play Inter in the Derby della Madonnina. Huge game. Well, only 3 more matches remaining in Serie A after today. It'll take some spectacular collapse from Juventus to not take the title. Of course, they have the better head-to-head record against Milan as well, which is effectively another point. There's Marchisio, another important player for the summer, hoping that they won't be too burnt out. A lot of the players are feeling the strain of all these games coming in quick succession, and there could be a shot now blocked by Pesce. This is the 3rd game in 7 days, as we just see a chance on the left-hand side for Mascherani. And there was the goal again. Well, it was, I wouldn't say lucky. I think Vucinic was trying to send it goalward, but a very difficult skill to replicate. Just hopeful more than anything. Conte absolutely pumped seeing that goal go in. Of course, a former Juventus player. really instilled this steely mentality into Juventus. Again, this space of Giaccherini. They keep searching him out on this left-hand side. Giaccherini should have done better. Ball just taking off from his boot. Samir Uikani still unavailable for Novaro in the goal, which is why Fontana's come in. Can't miss Santiago Garcia now with that white bandage on his head. See him a mile off. And the long ball forward. Header won by Barzali. Comfortable. Well, they're not able at the moment to get the men up in support. If they're going to try and use Caracciolo, you feel they need to get the ball into him on his chest, so he's got his back to goal, and then encourage the other players to come forward. That final touch coming off a Novaro player, but Giaccherini was offside anyway. Good decision from the linesman. Conte, former Bari and Siena coach, opening a few allegations levelled at him in recent weeks, but seem to have died down quickly. Fontana, oh, it's not a good clearance, straight at Borriello, and then just blasted up the field. Possession returning to Juventus. Vucinic manages, wasn't the cleanest of passes, but found Borriello. Giaccherini just steps in and passes to Pirlo, looking for that angled pass once more and finds him. Oh, what a chance of Giaccherini. Left-footed on the volley, but he went at it side-footed. Nice run, and you can see here he hits it with the side of his foot. Hard technique that to try and direct it. Very narrow angle. And again, Pirlo showing his quality. Wonderful right boot of his. Pass comes in, it's Pesce. Pesce once more. Looking to rake the ball over. Well, I understand that things are going well for Milan. Means that important Juventus do get a result. Just a long way to go in this one, despite this David versus Goliath meeting, and everything seemingly to favour Juventus. Remains at only one goal. Who knows what could happen? So Yedder unavailable for Novaro, the Brazilian forward. Marianini, Alberto Lodi. There's no quality on that whatsoever. There's Matri and Simone Pepe alongside Marotta. Tilio Tesset, well, he will be in charge of Novaro, irrelevant of what goes on in the remaining fixtures. That header was well cut out by Pachi. Giaccherini more central. Passing to Rigoni, but dispossessed quickly. Needs a call there from his teammates. Vidal was the one with the tackle. He wants it back now of Giaccherini. Just let it run to Vucinic. Pirlo. Vidal. Marchisio. Carini. Vidal. Tackle from Pesce. Still there. Play back into the centre. Pirlo just makes half a yard. And then crafts a nice ball around the corner. Tackle, and he's lost his Lost his bandage there, trying to put it back on. Garcia needs to get back into the defence though first. Vidal. Oh, it's Pirlo with a shot, punched by Fontana, and a corner kick to Juventus. Well, it went curling towards the Novaro keeper. Comfortable save though. Too much on it to catch. Ball crossed in. Oh, it's a good one. Chiellini going across, and then, well, Chiellini with the Samba football. Flicks it up for himself, and then overhead kick back in. Meanwhile, Bonucci feeling a knock on his face. Injury to his nose just plaguing him there. Perhaps just colliding with Garcia. The ball there just going out. Could see possible change then if that's difficulty for him. Half an hour gone here at the Silvio Piola. Single goal, the difference coming from Mirko Vucinic from a free kick. Another assist for Pirlo. Oh, there's good pace. And then curling in. There's a chance for Novaro. Oh, onto the roof of the net. It was Maserani. First time Novaro really threatened. And it was just a fraction high for him. The 22-year-old closest to it. Pressure coming from Chiellini. Well, encouragement there for Novaro. Pirlo to Vidal. That trident there, Vidal, Pirlo and Marchisio, really has been the success story, the best midfield in the division. Ably assisted on the flanks by Lichtsteiner and De Chelier, Istigaribia, Giaccherini today. And here he is now. It's almost Barcelona-esque, the difference in possession at the moment between these two sides. Time Novaro get the ball, goes straight back to Juventus. On the chest there of Rigoni though. They really need to try and use it with some quality when they get these opportunities. Rigoni with a heavy touch. And the slide coming in from Basali. Chiellini with the pass. Up to Vucinic. A little bit of a miscommunication there between him and Borriello. Giamitti. He started in the game against Napoli, Giamitti, when they were playing three at the back. 30-year-old German. Maserani just taking the long way round there to get away from Pirlo. Two in the middle. Now Poccari, the captain, laid off first time. Pesce, no one making the run, and then Carraccio lost his footing. And the margins are so tight for Novaro at the moment. A little period of territory here. Good tackle. No, and this pass is on through to Borriello. Well, he almost scored early on. It's gone too wide though. Giaccherini. Ball played back. Marchisio into Vidal. Started the move with that excellent tackle. Still Vidal. 1-2 with Vucinic perhaps. In a tight space, but taken away by Pesce. Oh, nicely done from Simone Pesce. Okay, Vucinic the run around there. Maserani. They spread over towards Della Fiori. Possession back with Juventus though. And the pass over the top. Too much for Giaccherini to get on the end of. unbeaten run I mentioned earlier. 91-92 season, Milan with 34 games undefeated. They've already surpassed Fiorentina, 1956 team. And Mancini's Inter of 2006-07, they got 31 games undefeated. And the record across 2 seasons is 58. Still some way behind that. Next closest one would be Perugia for Juventus if they manage to win this game. Perugia went 37 games undefeated. 78-79. Oh, that's a good ball. Just too high for Caracciolo, who's had a difficult season. Started the campaign at Genoa. He moved on from Brescia, and they were relegated last season. Played for both Ligurian clubs, but didn't have a positive time there at the Marassi. Indeed, some of the competition for the relegation at the moment for Novara, with Lecce, Cesena already down. Things are looking very difficult for Genoa at the moment. Novara, meanwhile, coming forward with Pesce. 10 minutes to go until half-time. I'd like to see a shot on target, certainly just some comfort. Had to do a lot of defending so far, Novara. I think Juventus now just taking a bit of a breather. Long ball down towards Della Fiori. But these are the sort of avenues they're having to follow. Long balls, hoping to get them in behind, but haven't got the quality on the pass. And in truth, the end of Tessa's first reign that saw 6 defeats and 2 draws across back end of November and into January was really where the damage was done to Novara. And the side started to pick up points. Only 2 wins from the start of the season up to the end of January. It was always going to be difficult, of course. No one ever expected to be comfortable for them coming up for the first time in 55 years. They're down in the lower reaches. Steiner just getting caught on the Achilles. Started his career at Grasshoppers, Stefan Lichtsteiner, moving to Lille. And down in a bundle there. Surely he won't have to think about any substitutions yet. Ball curling in. Well, it was a free kick from Andrea Pirlo that broke the deadlock, and there causing more trouble in the Novara defence. Went to the front post. Number of white and black shirts running onto the ball. The previous season, when they were relegated in 17th place, was 1955-56. Novara were down in Serie B and into the 3rd level, even into Serie C2. And then there were successive promotions. Came first in Liga Pro in 2010, and then 3rd before that. Oh, this is a nice curling ball, just onto the top of the net. Well, Buffon looked comfortable all the way. Gary with the ball in, just kept on dipping. The World Cup winner, not worried at all there. He hasn't had to really make a save in this opening 38.5 minutes. Borriello. Borriello former Milan player, former Roma, of course, and he's stuck at his task. He's kept pushing, trying to perform. Knows he's in a good side, but the one area of this side you feel that has a, perhaps not a weakness, but an opportunity there is in the striking department. Matri hasn't exactly been the prima punto, the lead man. You could say a Cavani or even a Melito has been at the other clubs. Certainly Zlatan Ibrahimovic and a Toto Di Natale. And that's the one area where someone can come in on. There's a chance there. Well, what happened? Came off the back of Marchisio's head. Giaccherini curling, and it's 2-0. Beautifully taken, and Borriello, well, he scored last week. He got the winner against Cesena, and now he's got his second of the season. Dipping low, diving in, and Marco Borriello, well, he's taking that chance I just mentioned, and the coach has had faith in him, and he's repaid that with a goal that puts Juventus in that comfort zone. No suspicion offside. Well, you could see Marchisio was trying to cushion it back. In the end, it was actually a good play. The assist from Giaccherini, lovely curling ball. The defence all over the place and stooping low, guided in by the head of Borriello. Nice goal from Juventus, punishing the space gifted them by Novaro. With both sides, Milan and Juventus, winning. Gap seems as if it will remain at 3 points. Of course, there's a long way to go, but you just feel the way Juventus are playing at the moment, looking for their 8th consecutive win. Only conceded 1 goal in the last 8 games. The last one went in was in the game against Lazio. Before that was all the way back in first week of March against Bologna. And the final game of April. And the next one coming up is one that's been pinpointed by the analysts, by the commentators as a big one against Lecce. Lecce, who down there at the moment, started the match day in 18th place. But they've been in a great run of form recently. Did lose to Napoli midweek. But not to be underestimated. And that could be a potential slip-up. The other 2 games away at Cagliari. And then rounding off the season at home against Atalanta. By then, the title could be wrapped up if they get positive results in those other 2 games. Novaro just going to try and get the next goal. Certainly not easy. Like I said before, they need to score the next, but now it's of paramount importance that they get the next score. And just keep trying to close down the space, make it difficult for Juventus, and then on the counter, like now, 3-on-2. Caracciolo, well, was there a foul? Still Caracciolo! Oh, I got away from him. Playing by Buffon. They wanted a free kick, didn't come, and it's those little half chances. Got to put it away. And, it wasn't the cleanest of touch from Caracciolo as he went into the box. Those long legs of his. Scored just the 1 goal since arriving from Genoa. That was the winner against Inter, and just 2 all season. Indeed, his other goal this season was against Juventus in the 2-2 draw with Genoa back in October. But it was interesting that Tessera didn't go with another striker. As I mentioned, they has Morimoto and Mascara both on the bench, excuse me. And Morimoto started the last game. It's not favoured. Mazzarani, see the goal again. Lovely finish, expert ball. Giaccherini can come in. There's just such depth in the squad for Juventus. De Cellier has been on the left the last few games, but chance there for Giaccherini to come in, much like the man he assisted, Borriello, both combining. And into the final minute of the 45. Juventus will just be looking to close it out. Go and have a nice breather. All going very much to plan for the Bianconeri at the moment. Pirlo into Chiellini. Oh, that ball back. Just missing Pesce. Lisuzzo. Dispossessed partially by Vidal. That was a slack pass though. Back with Giaccherini. Chiellini into the centre. Well, Novaro, it's hard to think of a way out for them in the second half. Just have to try and commit a few men forward. Hit on the break, of course that will leave some space, but 1 minute of added time. The real possibility is that they're going down anyway, so they might as well go out on the attack. It's not really the Italian mentality, of course, but got such a gap ahead of them. It seems impossible for them to claw back the 8 points. They would need 9 points from their final 3 games, and those above them to lose. Perhaps the greatest, most unlikely of comebacks of all time. So we hope in the second half they're going to come out and really have a go at Juventus. If they lose 4-0, makes absolutely no difference. They're already 2-0 down. And the final seconds of the half just ticking down. Sun shining here at the Stadio Silvio Piola. And it's very much shining on Juventus. The referee's whistle goes, the half-time score, Novaro 0, Juventus 2. Goal from Mirko Vucinic, the free kick knocked in after Pirlo found him on the edge of the area. And then the second, just a few moments ago, a header from Marco Borriello. Much more to look forward to in the second half, so don't go away. Hello and welcome back to the Stadio Silvio Piola. This match day 35 game in Serie A, where it's currently Novaro 0, Juventus, the league leaders 2, and cruising to an 8th consecutive win over the 19th place side in the division. Much more to look forward to though in this second period as the players re-emerge onto the pitch. There was a bit of a pain there for Bonucci in the first half, wearing that face mask, and had a little collision with Santiago Garcia, who was also in the wars, wearing a bandage on his head. I'm your commentator, Owen Nilsson. I'll be taking you through the second 45, and not much action for Caracciolo and Maserani in that opening. The last time that Novaro beat Juventus here was the 29th of April 1951. But my maths is any good at all. That's almost 62 years to the day since that last victory. Indeed, today being the 29th, I need to double check my calendar. It is 60 years ago, 61 years ago. So can they come from behind here? 2-0 down as we get going again. Novaro, they've kicking from right to left in the blue strip. We certainly need to see them push up a little higher. Haven't been able to threaten. Just that one header for Maserani that went over the bar. And there was also the cross from Poccari. So it landed on the roof of the net. Cloud just coming over a little during that break. Giamizzi with the throw. And well, Garcia now looking like he's wearing some sort of straw sun hat. Sustained after that injury. Giamizzi, knocked down by Lichtsteiner. And Giamizzi played with Piacenza and Modena before joining Novaro. 40 years of age now. 1 goal so far this season in the league. There's a little bit of previous history between the two coaches. Today is the 5th meeting between Tessè and Conti. 3 draws and 1 win in the favour of Antonio Conte. It's only the first time that Tessè has faced Juventus, though, as a coach. Just that 1 defeat coming earlier in the season at the Juventus Stadium. Marchisio played well in the first half. Oh, that's a nice pass into the middle. Lisuzzo sliding to cut out and take it away from Giaccherini. Now with Lichtsteiner on substitution to tell you about. Della Fiori has gone off and Gabriel has come on wearing number 12 for Novaro. Firm challenge coming in. Well, it's just a cotton net on the top of the head of Garcia, just to try and keep it in place, because if you remember, he lost hold of it in the first half. Oh, and there's a run now, danger. Vucinic was just drifting in. Giaccherini back into the middle. Borriello! Well, that's an amazing miss. Should have scored. I don't think there was a flag in there. And after scoring with his head in the first half, he's onside without a doubt. What a miss. That has got to be one of the worst of the season from Borriello. The keeper had already gone to ground. All he had to do was lift it over him. And it's a good job that he got that goal in the first half. That was embarrassing from the striker. And that pass isn't good enough. Had time to pick his spot there. He's hit it 10 yards too far past Caracciolo. Now Mascherani down, clutching his ankle. Well, it's not good enough there. It's got to be able to feed his striker with the pass. Balzali was the one making the challenge. Just caught him on the ankle. Novara's remaining games away at Fiorentina. Final game here against Cesena. And last day of the season. Oh, and that's a mistake. Vucinic saved with the knees. Vidal! Juventus 3, Novaro 0. The goal coming in the 50th minute. And they're on cruise control, the Bianconeri. His 7th of the season. And space opening up for Juventus. Initially saved by Fontana. Well, the ball knocked through. Keeper made himself big, but couldn't recover quick enough, and Vidal just slides it underneath him. Well, again, that's just the right start to the second half for Juventus. They had the 2-goal lead. They would have wanted to score next. And 5 minutes elapsed in the second period. Juventus 3 ahead. Caracciolo off now. Morimoto coming on. Japanese international, former Catania player. Well, this could be a real thrashing. Still 40 minutes to play. No reason for Juventus to let up. We've got a midweek match coming up, and a few midweekers because of the suspended game after the tragic death. And you just see again there, well, it's Garcia who makes the mistake. He had gone to ground to make the slide, completely missed it, which allowed the shot to come in. Gigi Buffon is really loving that. Hasn't had much to do himself, but still reveling in the third goal. Pirlo just got a touch on it. Pesce. Gimetti sends it high. Just keeping an eye on that Lecce game for you, so we're aware of whether Novaro indeed will go down. At the moment, it remains an 8-point gap to Lecce and Genoa, both on 36 points. Novaro on 28. There's only 9 possible points available after this game. And after such a long time out of the top division, as I said, it was 1956 when they were relegated in 17th place, just to come back into Serie A and play against some of the biggest sides, the greatest sides in Italian football history. Certainly been an adventure for Novaro. Some added revenue from the season. They'll be in a decent enough position to recommence in Serie B. And it's good that they are going to keep on Tessè. That's a good challenge by Vidal. Gimetti was on the ball, but Vidal with a slide. Sun coming back out now. Both former Roma players on the score sheet in the first half. Vucinic and Borriello. It's a real tight race, bunching up at the next level down of Italian football, the 2nd to 6th place, even down to Roma, 7th. Lichtsteiner. Certainly the change in formation last week to 4 at the back was an important element to that success against Lazio. And for me, they've just played too much defensive football, Novaro. It's certainly an Italian trait of promoted sides, but it was particularly difficult for Novaro coming up because they didn't really have the pedigree and the history, and of course the revenue that the likes of Atalanta and Siena did. Also promoted with them last season, Atalanta winning Serie B. So it was always going to be a tough job for them, but not having that ability to really press forward because they've committed too many men back. And when Donico turned up, he puts 5 at the back straight away. Even when feigned a 3-5-2, it was really always focused on having extra security. The tackle from Pirlo, not a good one. Took the legs of Morimoto. Morimoto hasn't scored any goals since arriving from Catania. Only 23 years of age. It's 3 so far this season. A couple of injuries as well throughout the campaign. So free kick, a little bit far out, no Mascara on the pitch. It looks as if Maserani will be favourite. It's a good 30-yarder though. Have to be hit with some real precision to beat Gigi Buffon, best keeper in the league. Andrea Maserani, and it's punched away by Buffon. And then the second hit into row F. Well, it was a well-struck shot, but straight into the centre of the goal. Vidal going to close it. You can see there, barely had to move a muscle there. Buffon just put out his arms. And Vidal, you can just see his goal tucked away. It's as if Padoin is coming on to replace the Chilean. Simone Padoin, the arrival in the January transfer window. Hasn't had quite as much chance to play. Difficult to say no, though, when Juventus come calling. Seemed like an interesting one for the midfielder. It was at Atalanta. They really relied on his services in central midfield. And they still look as if they're going to be safe. Atalanta with some excellent football. One of the real success stories of the campaign. Vucinic trying to lay it off to Borriello. Flicked away by Garcia. Maserani finds Rigoni. He's pulled down by Padoin. Actually scored in his last appearance, 17th of March. That 5-0 hammering dished out against Fiorentina. Morimoto trying to bring it down. Cut out by Barzagli. Played in the World Cup for Japan in 2010, Morimoto. Ball skips through and then laid off. Borriello out to Giaccarini with an excellent first half. Just comfortably laid off. Here's Lichtsteiner. Pesce. Well, they've got a number of men back there. Oh, and there could be a half chance. Vucinic on the ball. Padoin was just creeping onto the edge of the box. Pirlo has got Lichtsteiner on the right and then fancies the shot on his weaker foot, but struck it well. No real concern though for Fontana. Just kept on going up there. Conte. He's unbeaten in his matches against Novaro as a coach. 1 win, 2 draws. And certainly heading for another one now. And you feel that the aim of Juventus in the remainder of this match, just over 30 minutes to go, is to keep a clean sheet, perhaps try and add another goal if possible. Oh, this is real danger. Pull back, that's going to be the first yellow card of the game. Goes to Simone Pesce. Blatant pull back there in front of our referee, Domenico Celli. And complaints, of course, as Borriello just getting away from him. Those sort of cynical fouls are the parts of the world they're frowned upon, but it's just part of the game here. Certainly soften to it when you see it week in and week out. Anti-football it's called by some, but so it is. It was third yellow card of the season for Simone Pesce, and they're running the changes now. Marchisio coming off and De Cellier coming on to make his 100th Serie A appearance. And having the liberty, Antonio Conte, to just take off some of his players who've been working hard in recent weeks, obviously mindful of the game coming up against Lecce on the 2nd of May. Looking for the pass. Borriello just checks back. And that ball attempting to find Lichtsteiner, sprayed widely straight out. Didn't even bounce before going for the throw. Into Pesce. They'll be looking for a consolation. An hour gone then at the Silvio Piola. Morimoto, well, ambitious to say the least. 25 yards out. Buffon just uses it quickly. Well, a lot of sides in Serie B jockeying to come up into Serie A. You do wonder about what sort of players they'll be able to keep hold of Novaro. One of the things that has been a big difference between them and the other sides is the amount of experience in the team. We brought in the likes of Mascara, Caracciolo, Morimoto to try and sharpen the points of their attack. If you look across the defence, certainly in parts of the midfield, there's not a lot of Serie A experience there, which means it's really a tall order to try and get the better. See that pass slid in there, Gabriel. Making only his third appearance, Brazilian. Oh, that pass towards the back. Well, again, Garcia not getting it away. Paduin blocked down, still there for Paduin. Runs into his teammate, Borriello. A bit annoyed. Mazzarani trying to put some energy into the Novaro play. He's got Gabriel to his right, comes back inside to Pesce. Giamiti. Nowhere. Ball just drifts out for a goal kick to Juventus. Frustrating stuff. Well, I stand by the assertion that it would have been better to see Novaro just cavalier playing against the best side in the league, only side in Europe's top league still to be undefeated. As we'll try and get a consolation, something to cheer the home fans. You can see the Juventus ones who've travelled, enjoying their afternoon. We know they are closing in on the Scudetto. Pirlo. They've had a difficult time in recent years, Juventus, with the relegation to Serie B. That ball over the top, there's more space. Coming forward, Giaccarini checks back inside, Giaccarini. And then on the return, it's Juventus 4, it's Vucinic's second. And Novaro are getting hammered here by the Bianconeri. Well, he got the first from a free kick there. The ball parried and just casually trot in and blast it into an open net. Again, the keeper unable to hold it. And it's all too easy for Juventus. They're brutalising Novaro. Giaccarini started it, cut back inside, got away from Mizuzzo, got the shot off. Such a casual little stride up to the ball from Mirko Vucinic, the Montenegrin, getting a double here today on a hat-trick now. We're going to see a change. Well, he won't get that hat-trick. Coming off the pitch, Piero Alea coming on. Rare chance to see him in action. Alea, well, he's another new arrival. He's found it difficult to get the number of starts he might have hoped for. He's played for Twente and joined from Hamburg, making his first appearance of any kind since the 0-0 draw with Genoa back in March. Indeed, just his fourth Serie A appearance of the season. So a chance for him to really shine. Nice for Conte again to be able to ask the question to one of his younger players, 25 years of age. Left winger. Header there. Pachi. Gabriel. Just haven't been able to live with the intensity and the quality. Really outmuscled, outmatched in every single department so far this afternoon. Novaro, just as the prediction saw it. Still 25 minutes to play. Gabriel's pass cut out by Bonucci. He joined in January, Gabriel Silva. Radovanovic coming on now. Mazzarani. It's a little bit of a negative move there for me. Radovanovic, a more defensive player. I'm really sure the mindset, the thinking behind that change. Serbian usually plays a little bit deeper in midfield. There's not too many here that will question the word of Attilio Tessa. Very much loved by the home crowd despite getting that sacking. Very happy to see him return. Novaro's biggest defeat of the season in terms of goals conceded was 5-2 away to Roma. That's a good pass. Lichtsteiner, has he got the pace? Last touch coming from Gabriel. Former Fluminense player. Also lost 3-0 to Milan. 3-0 to Lazio. 3-0 to Fiorentina so far this season. At the moment, this is the widest margin of defeat throughout the campaign. If Juventus can get another one, just inflict further difficulty on Novaro. Great to see such a strong travelling support from the Juventus fans. And of course, they're very well supported around the country. Pirlo with the ball to the back post. Away by the captain, Poccari. Morimoto. Giaccherini back doing the defensive job. Such a good little player, Giaccherini. Just, that. Buffon, just deciding that kicking out for a corner was the best option. Rare to see that. Might have just opened his body there and tried to send it to the other side, but took no chances. So corner kick to Novaro. Curling in. Oh, and the header's there. Blocked by Chiellini. And then down by Radovanovic. But the whistle's gone. It's 64% possession for Juventus in the first half. And there was the header again. Chiellini in the right spot. Pachi just stooping low to make the contact, getting away from Barzagli. Lisuzzo on to try his level best throughout the campaign for Novaro. Great experience for him. Made most of his career in the lower reaches. 31 years of age now, Andrea Lisuzzo. If you did see the scenes last June when they beat Padova, just see that shot coming in, deflection, just a whisker wide, came off the boot of Barzagli, and then Buffon was scrabbling. I've seen those creep in before, and it was a fraction wide. Just to go back there, the scenes here in Novaro when they were promoted, sheer joy. That hit from Pesce. Another difficult skill, the ball coming across him, just bouncing up on the edge of the area. And then has to try and hit across the ball. Did just slice it a fraction. I don't think too many Novaro fans from the turn of the year really felt they were going to be able to stay in the division. They've just been enjoying themselves. Still turning up for the games. Only a small town, Novaro. is Pesce. Gabriel. Very left-footed, one-footed. Pesce. Juve just comfortable sitting back, waiting for them to come on. Giammitti switched sides a few times in this first half, excuse me, from the first half. Headed down, Pesce. Played into Morimoto, but Morimoto there is trying to anticipate and wait for the ball to come through, whilst Barzali's in motion. Of course, the defender's going to get to the ball first. There wasn't much pace on the pass. Elia goes down, the challenge from Nizuzzo. All in Palermo, which is where he started his career. A real swan song for him, though. Trying to link up there, Giaccherini and Elia. Giaccherini again. He's got De Ceglie with him on the left, which means Giaccherini's just come a bit more central to fill in for Marchisio. Oh, that was a nice idea. That's just cut out though. Header from Pirlo. Juventus, of course, who've won the most Scudetti in Italian football history. They're closing in on their perhaps greatest triumph of modern times. And then we can see a chance for Elia. He's still there, but just lost his footing. Well saved by Fontana. And their last official title came in the 2003 season. 27th for the troubles of Calciopoli. Elia there, just trying to get hold of it. So this, if it comes to pass, which it seems very likely now, won't be many betting men going against Juventus. Even the odds before the game, they were 3-10 on. Novaro, some had them at 11-1 for the win. But to maybe go an entire season undefeated and to claim the title against the fierce power of Milan really is some achievement for Juventus. Back to where they believe they belong to be. And as mentioned in the first half, they're going to contribute a great swathe of the squad for the upcoming European Championships. The theory goes that when Juventus are playing well, the Azzurri are playing well. Yet to be seen on that one, but their qualifying campaign, Italy was very solid defensively. They only conceded one goal in the whole group stage. Juventus continuing to keep that clean sheet run going here at the moment. 15 minutes to play at the Stadio Silvio Piola. 4 goals coming through Vucinic, Borriello, Vidal, and then the Montenegrin forward getting a second in the 64th minute. Is there a consolation somewhere here? Luca Rigoni, top scorer for Novaro. Perhaps he could just chip something in. Radovanovic, that's Pesce. Well, the big concern, looking ahead to next season, for Juventus will be 1, the striking department, 2, being able to deal with Champions League football. Of course, they've already qualified for the automatic position for the Champions League. Go straight into the group stages in Europe's biggest competition. Along with Milan, the gap is such between second and third that neither can be displaced. They'll have to alternate between European action and the league, which is always an extra task and takes its toll on the players. And it'll be a new challenge for Antonio Conte as a manager against the elite of the continent. It's certainly a good problem to contend with. Radovanovic spreads it over to Pesce. Juventus sitting back a bit more, not being quite so aggressive in their defence. Paduin trying to get the ball away from Pesce, lost his footing. And go back to Garcia. Pirlo. Oh, and that ball through to Elia. Well, it wasn't a kind bounce. He's still there though for him. And a good save by Fontana. Well, he's disappointed with himself there, you can see. Hasn't scored so far this season, just got 2 assists for his whole campaign. 1 in action for the Netherlands in the Euro qualifiers and 1 in the Coppa Italia win over Bologna. And would dearly like to get a goal. Well regarded to feature for the Netherlands in the national side. Another one there in the summer. Hasn't had the most opportunities, perhaps next year there'll be more. Pesce gives it to Jamiti. Oh, the ball's allowed to bounce. Chile came to life. Trying to snatch back possession. Still there with Rigoni. Over to Gabriel. Actually came on loan from Spain in the January transfer window. Those strange deals that goes on. He was playing for the Brazilian side. And via Granada. Gabriel Silva. Pirlo. Another excellent game from him. Well, another factor to contend with is will he be able to, just got the foul there from Poccari, will he be able to replicate this wonderful form that he's produced this season? Andrea Pirlo, not getting any younger. No, he's clearly proved Milan wrong in terms of what he has to offer at the top level here in Italy. He's contributed a massive assist despite missing 2 penalties in the last 2 weeks. Giaccherini cutting inside, he wants a goal. Lays it off to Elia. Here he is again, 11 assists this season, Andrea Pirlo. 3 goals. All curling in, headed out by Gabriel. Back heel came off. Pesce wants to try and get away. Space was narrow, but he did do well. Pesce now plays it into the middle. Pachi. Jamiti. He's been in the war. Garcia. It's been a well-disciplined game. Too many cards given out. On the nice header down, Morimoto. Well, that just drifting wide, but the whistle had gone. In the Asian Cup with Japan, Morimoto last year. Not fully convinced on his quality as a goal scorer. Doesn't really set the world alight. Not like that man, certainly. Alessandro Del Piero. Doesn't look like we're going to be seeing him this afternoon in what is supposed to be his final season for Juventus. Club captain. It's been a very respectable figure throughout the campaign, despite not featuring as much as perhaps he would have liked. Scored a couple of crucial goals in recent months as well. Here's Pesce, only man with a booking on the pitch. Gabriel up against Lichtsteiner. Hasn't needed to come forward as much in this second half. Radovanovic. Once again. So high hopes for Radovanovic. Pesce. I'm sure he'll go down to Serie B. Pesce's scooped ball headed away, but then cheaply given back. Pesce now! Oh, and spilled initially by Buffon. Claimed at the second try. Well, one of the best moments in terms of danger for Novaro in the game, coming in the 83rd minute. Balzali, very much a Juventus player. The archetypal Juventus player. Even when it comes down to the press conferences, Juventus have a real sign of unity about them, all dressed in very smart black suits with the club emblem on the pocket. On the chest, I should say. Compare that with some other clubs, quite so unified in their appearance. As that is cut out and goes across for a corner kick. Still a warm round of applause from the home fans. Chiellini sliding. There was the earlier chance. Buffon had no chance of tracking down that ball. So now Radovanovic goes towards the back post. So goes again though. Well, it's a close game, that one. Lecce Parma. Don't want to ruin the score for you, but at the moment Novaro still continue on in the division. They will make it, if it remains the same as this, to the next match with Fiorentina. Elia just laid off Giaccherini, sniffing around Padoin. Just keeping hold of possession. 5 minutes to run in the 90. Chiellini plays it into the centre. Padoin. Can't see him featuring too much next year. Have to wait and see, of course, but Simone Padoin. Yeah. Surplus. I'd like to see Giaccherini stay on. I think he deserves it. Elia, well, he's shaping to shoot. Took a little deflection on the way through. So it's going to be a corner kick to Juventus. Juve finished 7th in their last 2 Serie A campaigns. Already streaks ahead of that. Conte sure to win the Manager of the Year award for this season. Allegri got it for last season. Ball crossed in towards the back post, header one straight at the keeper. Borriello with the header down. Fontana, well, he hasn't had enough protection. Both the goals in the second half coming from his initial saves. No defender able to swipe the ball away to safety before the Juventus attackers run on. Giaccarini. And despite having joint most draws in the league, Juventus with 14 along with Catania. Just see Borriello trying to, well, referee having to think about a decision here. Borriello clashing with Massimo Pacci. Oh, that was an interesting one. Arms over each other. This would be Juventus's 21st victory of the season. 14 draws. And that huge 0 in the defeat column. Next fewest defeats in the league are Milan with 5. Napoli with 8. Elia tried to lay it off to Paduin. Through to Gabriel. And all the way back to Buffon. Well, they've also had that chance to rest a few players before the game against Lecce. So just have to try and keep the performance nice and consistent. Of course, going in with confidence. I think it'll be much more of a battle against Lecce than it has been here against Novaro. Gabriel taking on his man and crossed in, claimed by Buffon. Into the final minute of the 90. De Celia galloping forward. Borriello just hanging on the last man. It is Borriello, tracked by Lesuzzo. And now Giaccarini finds Pirlo. Back to Giaccarini. Garcia came flying out, went to ground. This will be a chance for number 5. It's a slack challenge. Too quick to go to ground and clearly illegal. Is it going to be Andrea Pirlo to try and carve a ball over the top? Certainly something of the artist about Pirlo. 2 minutes of added time. This free kick's going to take up plenty. Referee just making sure the wall is back. 10 yards. Pirlo! Oh, and he strikes the post. Well, that would have been the cherry on top for Juventus. Just didn't come back enough. Fontana rooted to the spot. And he's had an excellent game nonetheless. He could have had more goals, certainly. There was that unbelievable Borriello miss earlier. they'll be satisfied and satiated with this 4-0 win, and of course keeping the clean sheet. One goal into the corner, too much for Rigoni. Well, the task for Novaro, of course, was difficult. As always, a massive challenge to try and get up close to Lecce or Genoa. It just seems like a matter of time now till they fall back into Serie B. That can take away those great wins against Udinese. Oh, and there's a chance earlier. Should have scored. Free header, unmarked. Only a few yards out. And that really should have been 5-0. But the final whistle has gone here at the Stadio Silvio Piola. Final score, Novaro 0, Juventus 4. It's a comfortable victory for Antonio Conte and his side. Goals 2 in either half. First one coming from Mirko Vucinic, and then Borriello added the second just before the break. Arturo Vidal, he knocked in his 7th, and then Vucinic got his 2nd of the game to complete the rout. Juve continue on at the top of the table. Their run of consecutive wins now at 8. And they move up onto 77 points, remaining 3 ahead of Milan. That's all we've got time for from Novaro, from the Stadio Silvio Piola. And from me, Owen Nilsson, goodbye.